Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Why do people fall asleep during Vedanta class? Right in the front. It is a blessing of the goddess of sleep, Gudaka Devi. Gudaka means sleep. Via Krishna, this blessing comes. Gudaka Devi went to Krishna and said, "What is wrong with these people? We are up all night. And they keep scrolling on the phone and updating Facebook in the middle of the night. Where am I to abide? Wherever I go, they are awake all night long. They go into discos, they are going to restaurants, they are going to bars, they are going to all kinds of places. Nobody sleeps anymore. Or they are workaholics and they are doing something or the other." Lord Krishna said, "Yeah, you have a point. Where is your home?" Okay, doesn't matter. Wherever there is Hari Katha, you go there. Wherever there is Vedanta class, you go there. So if you are falling asleep in the Vedanta classes, you know now it is not your fault. Enjoy. Two questions of the same. Why do we get the best kind of sleep in Vedanta class? What are the formalities and norms to follow around gurus in different situations? Before class, after class, when visit homes, etc. Don't worry about it. It's like there are two things. One is called form and the other is called spirit. The spirit and the form are tied together. They are intrinsically connected. What? The spirit and the form are connected. Without the form, if you invoke the spirit, it's ghostly. Without the spirit, if you invoke the form, it's ghastly. So the two go together. The form is important, but the form is with the spirit. So, it's not about formality. It's about a certain inner housekeeping for ourselves. Because I want this teaching. Usually what happens? The student comes to the teacher for the knowledge, And who is the student? A thinking, discerning adult with a certain goal. I would like to be taught. But alongside, someone else has accompanied. Who is that? The inner child. The child wants love. The child wants a parent figure. The child wants to be coddled, attended to. The adult wants the teaching. Okay? This is the problem. That's why one is not able to settle into the teaching. And that's why there are quote-unquote formalities or way of relating to bypass this problem. In fact, this whole problem is there in the 8th chapter of the Chandogya Upanishad. So therefore, the resolution of the inner child means that I am finally able to connect to the teacher just for the sake of the knowledge, not for sake of attention, not for the sake of wanting validation, wanting to be noticed, wanting this, that or the other, wanting to feel good. That is incumbent upon me to do this housekeeping. I have to babysit the inner child and give it what it needs so that it behaves. And eventually it gets integrated into the adult. The tendency, however, is to give the inner child to the teacher to babysit. Here, you take it because I can't handle it, I don't know how, I don't want it, you take it. So, it is not the job of the teacher. And so therefore, there are certain rules in place. There are certain, vidhis. Vidhi means niyamas. That didn't help. Niyama means vidhi. Certain customary ways of interacting that are in place. Slowly it will become clear. Just look around and see what other people are doing. That's all. This is a nice question. How come Narada knows all the Vedas but not self-knowledge? Isn't Vedanta part of the Veda? True. Very nice question. Vedanta is part of the Veda. If you go to Vedic school, this Pathashala, it is called Veda Pathashala. We have one in Rishikesh. When you come to Rishikesh, you will see these yellow boys. I call them yellow boys. They are all in yellow. Small children who are studying Samaveda. You will find them coming back. They go to regular school also. They go to school in their uniforms, they come back to the ashram, they change into their yellows, little dhotis and little kurtas, so cute, and they go to the temple, wait for the priest who is a Samavedi, and they all just chant. It's very beautiful. So what are they chanting? They are chanting Veda. They are also chanting the Vedanta portion, but they don't know the meaning. So the Vedanta portion, Om Brahmavida apnoti param. The knower of Brahman gains the ultimate. They don't know what it means. It is used for Abhisheka. It is used for Yajna. So he knows Veda, he knows Vedanta, and he is going to explain later. Mantravid asmi. I know the mantra, but I don't know the artha of the mantra. He himself will say. So that is his problem. He doesn't know the purport of the mantra. Knows the Veda, may also know the meaning. You can nowadays, starting with, what's his name? Max Muller. The first one to translate the Vedas. So you can read the translation. You can sit at home and read all the Vedanta translation. That is whole. This is whole. You take the whole away from the whole. What remains is a big hole in my head after reading this translation. What do I understand? It has to be explained. I don't understand this. So, because there is so much which is part of this, there's so much background. Same words are used in the Upanishad in different ways. In certain places, Vidya means knowledge. In certain other places, Vidya means Upasana. What is Upasana? Meditation. So we have to rely on the tradition to know the meaning, to know the purport of this. So just looking at the translation, one doesn't understand. And in fact, Adi Shankara warns. Shastrajñopi brahmanveshanam swatantriyena na kuryat. Even though one may be a shastrajñah, Shastram janati means what? The person knows the Shastra means like this. That is whole, this is whole. They know all that. They know how to chant. They know just the translation. Because they know the language, they know the translation. So even if one is a Shastrajña, even if one knows the Veda in this manner, but hasn't been taught, please do not undertake the study of what? The study of Vedanta, the study of Brahmanveshanam, an analysis into Brahman, swatantriyena, by yourself. Meaning, be guided. Because this is dependent upon the teacher revealing the knowledge. For which you have to be in a place of wanting the knowledge. Then only it will work. If we want other things, then it won't work. And so therefore, he knew all the Vedas. He might have also chanted Vedanta. And because he knew Sanskrit, he could understand that what it means. But what it means has to be revealed. It's not just based on translation. We'll have one song from Chitra. Yes? Throat is not okay? Oh, another time. Anyone else? Come. On it. On नहीं है.
हरिओम. बड़ी दूर से तेरे चरणों में हम शीश झुकाने आए हैं. बड़ी दूर से तेरे चरणों में हम शीश झुकाने आए हैं, हम बालक खाली झोली लिए, निज बिगड़ी बनाने आए हैं, बड़ी दूर से तेरे चरणों में। देखोगे जो करनी मेरी, होगी नाथ बहुत ही देरी। तन मन की ज्योति मंद हुई, वो ज्योति जलाने आए हैं, तन मन की ज्योति मंद हुई, वो ज्योति जलाने आए हैं, बड़ी दूर से तेरे चरणों में हम शीश झुकाने आए हैं, हम बालक खाली झोली लिए, निज बिगड़ी बनाने आए हैं, बड़ी दूर से तेरे चरणों में। जब जब हम राह से गिरने लगे, तब अंगल पकड़ उठाया हमें, आंसू पहुँचे सिर हाथ धरा, निज आंचल में लिपटाया हमें। हर जन्म में आपका संग रहे, इतना मनवाने आए हैं, हर जन्म में आपका संग रहे, इतना मनवाने आए हैं, बड़ी दूर से तेरे चरणों में हम शीश झुकाने आए हैं, हम बालक खाली झोली लिए, निज बिगड़ी बनाने आए हैं, बड़ी दूर से तेरे चरणों में। इतना कुछ तुमने दिया दाता, आंचल में समा पाता ही नहीं, ये लोक बना परलोक बना, क्या क्या मैं कहूँ कहा जाता नहीं। हम युगों युगों के प्यासे हैं, और प्यास बुझाने आए हैं, हम युगों युगों के प्यासे हैं, और प्यास बुझाने आए हैं, बड़ी दूर से तेरे चरणों में। मत कर बंद द्वार पुजारी, मत कर बंद द्वार, मैं उनकी वो मेरे भोले, तेरी होगी हार। तू घी का दीप जलाता है, मैं मन का दीप जला दूंगी, धूप दीप नैवेद्य चढ़ाए, मैं तन मन बलि चढ़ा दूंगी। बाहर के पट बंद करेगा, भीतर दर्शन पालूंगी, मेरी उनकी प्रीत पुरानी, जो चाहूं सो मना लूंगी, जो चाहूं सो मना लूंगी। तेरे दर पे खड़ी हूँ, दर खोल बाबा, नहीं तेरे जया कोई और बाबा। लाइया निभाई तोड़ बाबा, सानू राह विच ना जाई छोड़ बाबा। तेरे दर पे खड़ी हूँ, दर खोल भोले, तेरे दर पे खड़ी हूँ, घर खोल भोले, तेरे दर पे खड़ी हूँ दर खोल बाबा, तेरे दर पे खड़ी हूँ दर खोल बाबा. हरे.
Sad people at the funeral could not make the happy lottery winner sad. Is it because we are basically happy people? Also, why is it that a bunch of happy people cannot make a sad or depressed person happy? I'm assuming from our studies that it could just be because of self-ignorance. Yeah, basically. Well, you see, the thing is, it's very fruitful to see the origin of sorrow, to do a mimamsa, an analysis into the origin of sorrow. If the sorrow is intrinsic to me, then I should be sad all the time. Nobody is sad all the time. In sleep, one cannot be sad. Correct? And so therefore, that is not tenable. Then if we look at it from a different angle, perhaps the sorrow is extrinsic to me, it's outside of me, and what am I doing? I'm catching it. So, but that also is not tenable. If I am having unbridled joy and I go into a sad situation, I don't particularly feel sad. And this teaches us many things. First, it tells us that sorrow is neither extrinsic to the I, nor is it intrinsic to the self, to the I. But still, there is sorrow. Why? Because it is experienced. Since it is experienced, I am experiencing it. That's why I want to find out whether it is in me or outside of me. But both these standpoints are untenable. It cannot be in me, because if it's in me, then I should be sad all the time. And if it's out of me, then I should not be sad at all, except when I encounter it somewhere. If it's outside of me, then the question arises, where is the location of this sorrow? This is the problem. The self-ignorance makes me take the sorrow to be real. Because in my maxim, in my understanding, whatever is experienced is what? Real. But that is not the Shastra's understanding. You experience the sun setting into the ocean in the west coast of the US. Is the sunset real? No. Sun is not setting at all. Neither is it setting nor is it going inside the ocean. Otherwise, it should be like a shh sound made when it touches the water. It's not real. But it is experienced. Similarly, blue sky. Sky is not blue at all. Some kind of a atmospheric effect. The pencil, when it is put in the water, is bent. It's experienced. Pramana siddha means it is ratified, validated by a means of knowledge because it appears real. But when I take out the pencil from the water, it's fine. It's not bent at all. So just because something is experienced doesn't make it real. This we know from our interactions in the universe. Blue sky, sunrise, sunset, etc. So too, if we use this same analysis on the question of sorrow, we can extend this logic, we can help ourselves out and extend this logic. Of course, the Shruti, the teaching tells us you are not subject to sorrow, period. But I can help myself to apply this logic to see how. And so, what do I see? I can say that, yes, I experience sorrow. I can say that. Why? Because I am experiencing it. I am objectifying the sorrow, it is there. But then, when I look at all these other examples, I can question this very statement. Just because I am experiencing it doesn't mean that it is real. Then we have to decide, what is this thing that is real? What is the definition of reality? The Shastra helps us. Shastra says, reality is that which has two conditions. One, it is non-negatable. Non-negatable means what? Undeniable. That is the first definition of reality. Sat. Reality. Abadhitam sat. Non-negatable is reality. It also has another definition. First definition is it's non-negatable. Second definition is it is unchangingly non-negatable. Non-negatable, number one, unchanging, number two. Trikalepi tishtati iti sat. If you want to put it in Sanskrit. Abadhitam, non-negatable. Trikalepi tishtati. In all three periods of time, it is the same unchanging truth. It is same, it is unchanging. It hasn't changed at all. Can we apply either of these definitions to sorrow? Let's try the first one. Abadhitam dukkham. Non-negatable. Of course, I can't say it with a smile. I have to say abadhitam dukkham. I have to say it like that. But that's not true. Trikalepi tishtati iti dukkham. Can you say that? In all three periods of time, unchanging it is. No. So then, the term real cannot be applied to sorrow at all. Oh, I knew it all along. It's unreal. But I told you, if it is unreal, then what are we trying to remove? Unreal means what? Asat. Asat means what? Opposite of existent. Sat. That means what? Non-existent. Are we out of our minds that we are trying to remove something that doesn't have any existence? So then what is the status of this sorrow? What is the reality quotient of this sorrow? You cannot say it is non-existent. Why? Because the person is crying and is upset. You cannot say it is existent because it is not unchanging and it is not non-negatable. So therefore, it cannot be Sat. It cannot be Asat. So then what is it? Somewhere in between, like Trishanku. Trishanku was a great sage, got a boon to go to heaven. Indra did not want him to go to heaven, pushed him down, and another sage from the earth said, no, go to heaven. So he was in between. It's called Trishanku's Swarga, his own heaven. By himself he was hanging somewhere. That is the status of sorrow. It's in between Sat and Asat. It's exactly somewhere in between existence and what? Non-existence. To put it in Sanskrit, Sad Asadbhyam Anirvachyam. Anirvachya. You cannot say it is Sat. You cannot say it is Asat. Still I have to deal with it. It is here in my lap. So what can I say about sorrow? Swakale satyavat bhati. In its time it appears to be real. Prabodhe sati. When I wake up, not in the morning, wake up to this truth of myself. Asad bhavet. I realize it is not there. So, this Trishanku hood, the Trishanku status, in between status, we have a special name, Mithya. Cannot be translated. You can say Michya, that's all. Yeah. Does not have a translation. Mithya. Neither Sat nor Asat. Now what is this Mithya? Mithya is not an object. It's the truth of an object. It's a statement about the truth of an object. That it is neither non-existent nor is it existent. Mithya. Now we know that what is Sat is only one thing that is Sat, which is Brahman, aka you. What is Asat? Many things are Asat. A circle in the shape of a square. Is it here or is it there? Circle in the shape of a square. Does it exist? No. A beautiful bow made of the horns of a rabbit. Is it there? No. A celestial what? Flower fallen from the sky. Is it there? No. A bucket of mirage water for you to bathe in. Is it there? No. Many things are atyanta asat, completely not there. Right? There is only one thing that exists because It doesn't lean on anything else. It is self-existent I, which is Brahman. All other things, then there are certain things that are absolutely not there. All other things come in between that which is there, which is Brahman, which is I, and all the things that are not there. Meaning what? Everything that is there leans on Brahman, giving a new meaning to the word Brahmalina. It's just dependent upon it. So when I say flower is, the isness of the flower is dependent upon what? Ishvara. That is what it is. The flower is not independently existent. Whole mithya is there, like that. Because mithya also, just like Sat has two definitions. What are the two definitions? Abadhitam and then Trikalepi Tishtati. Mithya also has two definitions. One we have already seen. Sad asadbhyam anirvachya. And the second definition, adhishthana ananyat, meaning that which is never ever ever away from Sat. Yatra yatra mithya, tatra tatra Sat. Wherever there is mithya, Sat is not far behind. Because Sat upholds the mithya. But can I flip it and say, yatra yatra Sat, tatra tatra mithya? No. Sat is Sat, mithya is Sat. Sat is not mithya. If we have understood this much, then the whole question of the truth statement of what is this sorrow becomes clear. Sorrow is mithya. Here again we can see the sorrow from two angles. One is it enjoys the status of being mithya, like even the sunset and the blue sky and other phenomena that we observe in physics, astronomy, etc. Meaning, it is an objective mithya. So sorrow in the form of objective mithya, what does it look like? Given this kind of a situation, someone with a particular kind of a background can feel sad. This is an objective mithya. This is a psychological statement. Psychological statement means from the branch of knowledge called psychology, we can say that such and such a person, having undergone this particular kind of a situation, like a trauma or whatever, could be subject to sorrow. Of course, there will be variations and everything, but still, a general statement can be made. This is called objective mithya. But then there is also a subjective mithya, a mithya within mithya. So let's say a person falls in this category of the person being in a particular situation, coming from a certain background, is subject to sorrow. And then what? What does that person do? The person personalizes the sorrow and starts asking the question, why me? Why only me? Imagine 8 billion people asking at the same time. I alone have been targeted. I alone am wrong. I alone have this problem. I alone am an idiot. This is what? Mithya within mithya. The first, meaning how the mind works and how the mind gets sad because of a certain situation, is common. Samanya. This is Vishesha. The Samanya Mithya is within the purview of Bhagavan, Ishvara Srishti. The Vishesha Mithya is what? Jiva Srishti. My own doing. That has to be dropped. I first learn to live objectively in Ishvara's world, and then I'm able to emerge out of that. That mithya also through self-knowledge. Last minute dash. In learning Vedanta, I have learned that quote-unquote negative human emotions, anger, fear, are not to be judged and avoided, but to be accepted and mastered instead of suppressed and controlled. Why is sorrow an exception? Why do we aim to cross sorrow but not master it? No. Crossing means mastering. Crossing sorrow means it doesn't make you cross anymore. That's all it is. Yeah. It's the same. It's just words. Crossing anger, in other places it comes. Crossing means it no longer affects me. Why? Because I have mastered it. So same mastery. We will see as the text unfolds. It's not an exception. It is also mastered. It's just it's nice to use the word crossing because it's like that river. In the Gita Dhyana Shloka also it comes. Sotirna khalu pandavai rananadi kaivartakah keshavah. Sa uttirna. That nadi, that battle river was crossed over by the Pandavas. Why? Because the ferryman was Lord Krishna. The boatman was Lord Krishna. So it's just a metaphor. Every emotion is to be accepted, embraced and integrated. We are not aiming to cross sorrow, but we are not crossing other things. Crossing is mastery. Okay? Yeah. Is there a risk of premature karma tyaga in starting Atma Vichara? I see my friends who have started their pursuit of Vedantic studies over 10 years. They quit their Nitya Karma and Anusthana, but not acting on Vedanta learning. Is that an issue? Nitya Karma is just an example. Phala Tyaga, getting confused with Karma Tyaga. Well, the 18th chapter clearly says, do not leave Nitya Karma. Even if Nitya Karma means things that need to be done. Don't leave them. Why not leave them? Because they are helping one's growth. Since they are helping the growth, you can pursue Vedanta, but in the spirit of Karma Yoga, keep doing what you're doing. Yajnadana tapaha natyajyam. It says that very, very clearly. So therefore, there is no need to leave anything really. Otherwise one becomes what is called ubhaya bhrashta. Neither here nor there. And so one keeps playing the roles. Nitya Karma is again a role. You keep playing the roles and allowing oneself to grow. It doesn't come in the way of Vedanta. Keep studying and keep doing whatever you're doing. It is helpful. How do we define happiness and sorrow, since the definition differs? I don't understand this question. Whose question is this? How do we define happiness and sorrow? Yeah, can you elaborate on that?
Basically, the idea behind the question was the true definition as to when each person feels happy or sorrowful. The yardstick is different. So that's what
Yeah, it doesn't matter whether the yardstick or everybody knows. When one feels sad and when one feels happy, one knows. The degrees may differ. Yes, there are degrees of happiness, there is degrees of sorrow, but that doesn't matter. We are not interested in the details. We are interested in you just look at the emoji, one face, lips are like this, the other face, lips are like that. That's what the thing is, okay? Yeah, we'll need the mic back here because the children are coming. Children are coming? Yeah. Niyati, go get them. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Yeah. Please don't go.